Hello and welcome to another episode. This is Susanna Miles and today we are going to be talking about brand story and how you can tell yours without boring people to tears. So I'm sure you know and you've heard about the importance of brand story. And if so, you might even be confused about how to tell yours. It is confusing. It is insanely confusing. So you are totally not alone. And you're probably a little bit scared that if you do start telling it, people's eyes are going to glaze over with boredom, or they're just going to be confused or just roll their eyes because of like, whatever, right? So you are definitely not alone. There's so much out there that makes it confusing. But the real pickle is this: a really great brand story is simple. In fact, the simpler, the better. And this is something that I learned by watching Big Dreams and Small Spaces with Monty Don, England's favorite gardener, as we were trying to plan our own garden. So if you want a simpler and funner way to tell your brand story, stick around because I'm going to help you do just that. So I don't know about you, but I used to think that, brand story was based on a story, like the step-by-step of how a brand came to be. But that's totally wrong. And I want to share two examples to help you understand and to help you, break down a simpler way to tell your own story. So, bad storytelling number one. Basically, the effect is no lasting emotions. So here, this is the story. So, to be clear, my memory might not be exactly right on the details, but the gist is basically this: a family trying to combine an Aztec theme with a Greek theme in their backyard garden in the UK. The problem they had was that trying to fit everything together was just too hard. In the end, the garden had a bunch of neat stuff in it, but it didn't really feel like anything. You know what I mean? There were some cheap thrills in there. You'd see this neat thing and you'd see that neat thing, but there was no overall big, memorable feeling. And this is really key. It also made it really hard for the homeowners to, decide on things like the layout, the design elements, or even the style of the, flower pots they would get and plants. Because, those two themes, other than, both of them being warm climates, had so much in terms of their look and feels that were different. So, okay, like something like that might not necessarily bore someone to tears. Like I was saying, a few things might entertain them, but at some point our mind shuts down with all of the information and all of the conflicting information. And because there is a lack of harmony or consistency, people aren't left with a strong emotional memory. And emotions are what excite us. They're what connects us with both people and brands. So the alternative is obviously good storytelling, which basically has a center. Those who had the most successful gardens were those who had a central theme. And that central theme is essentially the story. So, for example, a young artist couple moved to a small home in a neighborhood that the government was trying to revive. They didn't have a lot of money, but, Clearly, they wanted to have a cozy backyard with an eco-friendly garden space, a place for their new son, which was coming soon, and like a real community feeling so that they could invite their friends and family in and make new friends with, others who were moving into the area. Because, they were artists, but this area was basically an artist community, and that's what they wanted it to be. So based on this central idea or theme, everything they used was secondhand, which was both practical and perfect for the theme. And they created a bug hotel and turned their roof into a green space. Everything was unique, cleverly made, and totally artistic and one of a kind. So their story, super easy to break down. Two creative and hardworking artists in love and expecting their first child are on a mission to turn around an abandoned neighborhood into an eco-friendly, artist-friendly community for families. It's a story of adventure, hope, and succeeding against all odds. And every decision they made was based on that central story, which, and I don't know about you, but I kind of want to see how that unfolds. So yes, telling your story as a brand is going to be more complicated than, telling the story of a garden makeover in a 30-minute TV show. But what is the same is the idea of a central theme or inspiration. And next week, I'm going to be talking about how to apply this idea to you and your business so that you can start getting the answers that you need without kind of, guessing or making decisions that you end up regretting later. So make sure you like this channel so that you're notified when I go live with that video next week. In the meantime, have an awesome day, have an awesome week. Thanks for joining me. And I would love to hear, some of your thoughts below. So please post them down there.